One cannot understate how cool the Golden Order Greatsword is. It is one of the legendary armaments, and a former possession of Radigan, so you know this greatsword is gonna dish out a ton of holy damage. First, let's discuss the not-so-flashy part about the Golden Order Greatsword. It has the typical greatsword moveset. Now, I would not always prefer the standard. The light attacks where you smash the weapon into the ground still bother me a bit, but those are by no means bad attacks. And because of the metaphysical nature of this weapon, I don't feel as bad smashing the whole width of the sword on the dirt. Preferences aside, this was a faith and therefore holy build. About 2/3 of the weapon damage was holy, so do prepare for that when you face the holy resistant bosses. The unique Ash of War this week is Establish Order. It is a two-parter. We can see both parts by pressing the Ash of War button twice, and has a really funny animation. You, in essence, emote on your enemies, and for the first part, a wave of holy damage shocks them in the area. This can stun some enemies like Melania and Renala, but the main purpose of this part of the move is to look really cool and finish your fights in style. I only utilized the first part for about half of my Ash of War presses throughout the playthrough. The follow-up is longer, but you get not only a hitbox with the sword, but a wide wave of holy damage. This is the holy equivalent of the Dark Moon Greatsword's magical beams, except they are of course a different damage type, and hiding behind the Ash of War button instead of the heavy attacks. The one thing I did find that I wasn't quite expecting was the poise damage this move did. I didn't get any insane amount of poise breaks, but this move helped whittle down enemy poise, yielding me more than my usual set of critical hits. I used some typical buffing incantations, Golden Vow and Howl of Shabriri. Vow gives us 15% more damage and 10% more damage negation, and the Howl gives us much more damage at the cost of much less damage negation. Only use this incantation if you're confident in your abilities on not getting hit. I was playing this on Max New Game Plus, so a couple hits will end your fight. Finally, I used Light of Mikola. This was an 80 faith build, so I could use any incantation that I wanted. On a faith build or where I need an armor set that is lightweight wise for my headpiece, I oftentimes equip his circlet, which has a boost to his incantations. I was not spamming it left and right, but Light of Mikola is great to open a fight, end it, and for those somewhat distant elite enemies, it can take them out in a single hit. Start off every fight with using your buffs in descending duration order. The flask comes first, and we need the Holy Shroud and Crack tier. Most of our damage is holy, and this will boost our holy damage by 20%. For the second tier, I switched out the Blood-Sucking Crack tier and the Opaline Heart tier for 20% more damage with health drain, or 15% more all damage negation. We're using Establish Order as not only a potential opener, but always a closer. So we have the Shard of Alexander for 15% Ash of War damage. While using incantations, the moveset, and the Ash of War, stamina will be in short supply, so the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman increases our stamina regeneration. And of course the Dragon Crest Great Shield. This was a medium roll knight build, and will end up taking a hit or two, unless you're very comfortable with the boss you're fighting. The final talisman slot can vary, and you can also replace the Dragon Crest Great Shield if you know you're not going to get hit. But the Two-Handed Sword Talisman will boost our moveset damage by 15%. Phlox Canvas will increase incantation damage, and the Sacred Scorpion Charm, at the cost of lowering some of our defenses, will give us an overall boost to holy damage. So there were quite a few talismans I experimented with in my playstyle. Try them out and tailor your selection to how you play the game. But after all is said and done, be sure to emote at the end of every fight that you can. The question I have for you all this week is a fun one. What is your longest boss fight that you can recall? The holy damage of this build brought up the memory of my Coded Sword playthrough, where after playing well, it took a whole 17 minutes to defeat Radigan and Elden Beast. So let me know if you've had any laboriously long fights down below. And as always, this video is sponsored by my novel, Follow the Gleam, out now, link down in the description. And for more build and Souls-like videos like this, every single Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, be sure to like and subscribe to TheJerseySide. Our stats for the build are 60 Vigor, 26 Mind, 30 Endurance, 16 Strength, 21 Dexterity, and 80 faith, as this is where our damage scales. The Golden Order Greatsword is not the best tool for the job, but it's one of the best looking. I did a build video of this weapon some 3 years ago now, and I gotta say, after another 100 or some odd playthroughs of the game, this weapon feels even better. Maybe it's because I'm so used to that standard Greatsword moveset. Whatever the difference was, this was a great playthrough. And even with the holy damage not being great against Malekith or Radabeast, I still recommend you use the Golden Order Greatsword.